What's up, guys? It's a beautiful day here in sunny San Diego here in July, beautiful summertime. If you guys are here to see how I turned one of the worst car buying experiences into a 30% savings on this brand new 2SS Camaro, keep watching. God, I love that every time. First of all, I'm going to show you guys the numbers on this car just so you know that I'm not making this up. I'm not bullshitting you here. Take a look at the sticker price here. You can see over $44,000. Now, what I ended up getting this car actually for before the taxes and whatnot was $350, so $31,350, roughly about a savings of 30% off of the MSRP, off of the sticker price. No, I did not trade in any car, as you can see here. No, I did not get any sort of special family discount or anything like that. You can see I put $20,000 down on the car, took a loan out for $15,000, waiting to sell my other car before I paid this off. And again, if you look at the numbers, subtract the taxes, subtract the dealer document fee you see there. And actually, in Henderson, Nevada, the tax rate is a tiny bit higher than what it is here in San Diego, so I ended up getting a couple $100 back. So if you do the math, comes out to about $31,350 there. Again, crazy savings of about 30%. So here's the story. So it all started about a year ago. Went out looking for a new Camaro, was doing great at my job, and had some extra money, and I test drove one of the new ones, one of the 2016 SS's. I had a 2012, a 5th gen V6 model, and I just needed more power, right? How many of us need more power? Yeah, you're all probably raising your hands right now. Everybody, right? I loved it, loved the technology, loved the power, loved the torque, loved everything about it. So I had been researching for probably 2-3 months across the United States, looking for a slightly used SS in black or white, of course in a manual, always gotta go manual. As you can imagine, those types of specs, not that easy to find, even as you're looking across the entire country. I happened to find two, actually, in Henderson, Nevada, pop up at roughly the same time. Funny enough, the dealerships were roughly right across the street from each other. One of them was black, about 1,500 miles on it. The other one had about 1,000 miles in it. They were both asking around $33,500, something like that. So I saw this as a perfect opportunity to fly out there, kind of negotiate them, put them against each other there, and walk out with a basically new car somewhere for around $31,000. Anything less than that would just be an extra bonus for me. That was really my goal. So booked a flight, went out there, took a look at the first one at the Chevy dealership. The other one was actually at a Toyota dealership. I didn't really feel like working with those yahoos, but so anyways, loved the car. Everything was great on it. Started negotiating with the guy. He was telling me, you know, there's not much movement on it. It's used, you know, otherwise we'll just send it to auction, basically. And I said, you know, quit, you know, let's not mess around here. And you know, if you put a 2 in front of it, I'll walk out with this car here today. Anywhere below $30,000, I don't care if it's $29,999.99. I'll walk out with this car today, and you've got yourself a sale. So he went and spoke with his manager, blah 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 blah. Came back and said, well, if we finance it this way, blah 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 blah. And I said, look, I don't even care about the financing, the percentage, anything like that. I'm going to pay the car off anyways. None of that matters to me, right? All I care about is out the door price. Eventually, what it came down to is that they told me that they couldn't move on the car, barely any. Maybe, I think it was like $500 they offered me, so around 33 or high 32, something like that. And I said, no, that's not good enough. So I'm gonna go look at the other car. You know, you guys think about if you want to make a sale here. And you know, they said no, we can't go any lower than that. We were in Vegas anyway, so I didn't really care that much. We still had a great weekend, and I ended up flying home. I said, whatever, I'll just keep looking, keep researching on the internet, just waiting for that perfect one, right? I knew it would pop up eventually, and I'd take opportunity of it. Now, about 2 days later, I think it was like Monday, maybe, I saw the same car online, the one that I was listed for $33,500, and now all of a sudden, it was listed at $31,500. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is going on here? They told me they had no movement on the car. So I called them up and said, hey guys, I was negotiating with you on last Saturday, and you told me you had no movement on the car. Now, after I flew home all the way back to San Diego, now I see online that you guys reduced the price to essentially almost what I was asking for? And they said, yeah, but, you know, spoke with the higher up manager, blah, blah, I don't know, some bullshit excuse, retard salesman. It was his, like, first job or something. I had no idea what he was doing. So we ended up negotiating it down to, I think it was around $31,000. And I said, great, okay, so how are we gonna do this? So I'm gonna book another flight out to Vegas. And basically they told me, hey, if I put $5,000 down over the phone, they're gonna hold it for me until I get there. So I said, great, I'll do that. Fantastic. I'm excited, I'm super happy. I thought that I just purchased my brand new 2016 Camaro. You know, it was a 1SS with the basic options, not fully loaded like this one, but you know, I was really happy. I didn't care about that stuff. I just wanted the power, and I'll upgrade the wheels and everything later. So I thought, okay, great. Now, Wednesday, Thursday rolls around. I think it was Wednesday. I get a call, and the same guy who I had spoken to on Monday says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We just sold your car." And I'm like, "Well, this has to be a joke. You guys are just messing with me because I was flying out twice. I already booked my flight and everything." He says, "No, seriously. We sold the car to somebody else yesterday who came in and took it at the reduced price." As you can imagine, I am pissed. At this point, I'm cussing the guy out. I'm calling his manager, cussing that guy out as well. I can't even believe the level of service is so bad here. What they just did after I had spent 2 flights getting out there, putting down $5,000 for them to hold the car for me. The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. So after I'd calmed down a little bit, thought it through, figured out what I wanted to do, I figured I'd do a little bit of research on the internet and see who the general manager of the entire dealership was, because I knew it was a family-owned business. So I give him a call, leave him a voicemail. You know, basically, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to get the salesperson fired because that was the worst treatment I've ever had across any business, not just buying a car. But eventually, he gives us a call back, and you know, he's actually a nice guy, right? He wants to do what's right. You know, we were saying, I'm sure you don't want us talking to, you know, corporate GM or the Better Business Bureau and telling them how you're treating your customers, right? I know you guys are a family-owned business. You guys want to do good by your customers. It's not, I know it's not about that for you. So, you know, how can you make this right? I've got some of these other Camaros on the lot, so we went through, you know, I've got this one, you know, they were automatics, they were the wrong color, they were just too far used, just none of them were good. And eventually we got to this one, and he said, look, I've got this silver one, it's fully loaded, manual, I know it's not the color you wanted, it's a 2SS, it's got all the options, everything's spec'd out on it, what do you say I could do it for $32,500? And I said, you know, it's not exactly the color I wanted, I don't know if I even want to do business with you guys at this point. And I say, look, $31,000 was my original price, my original limit that I wanted to buy the other car for. You give it to me for $31,000, I'll forget it all happened. Totally fine. You got yourself a deal. You got a happy customer. You know, you've done right by me. And he proceeds to, what I think, pull out his calculator or something like that, and doing some calculations on his calculator. Now I'm assuming what he did was essentially just pull the salesperson's commission and pull the manager's commission from this car and basically just give that to me, because there's no way otherwise that he would have been able to do this and actually make money. I mean, they may have lost money on this car. They probably did, honestly. He says, look, I'll do it for you for $31,500. And I said, do a little bit better. And he said, all right, $31,350. That's as low as I could go otherwise. You know, just forget it. I think that's an amazing deal. It's fully loaded, blah, blah, blah. Now, if I'm being honest with myself at this point, I would have done it for $33,000 because the car is worth way more than that. But I said, all right, how do I know you're not going to do the same thing to me? I buy a flight, you're going to sell the car. Beyond that, he said, look, I'm the highest up manager at this company. You've got my word. I'm going to put the car in the back. I'm going to save it for you for this weekend. It's all yours. I hope we can make a deal. So I paused a second. I'm thinking in my mind, yes, this is the best deal I've ever gotten on a car. And I said, all right, you know what? I like you. You know, you seem like a good guy. You're really trying to do what's right for me. And even though your guys screwed up, I said, let's do it. So I flew out there the next weekend, the next Saturday, picked up the car, signed all the paperwork. I dealt with just that guy directly, and everything was great. At the end of the day, one of the worst experiences I've ever had, but was it worth it to save over 13 grand on a brand new, fully loaded 2SS, even though it was the wrong color? Which I ended up wrapping anyways, by the way, so I didn't really give a shit, but I didn't want to let them know that. Yes, absolutely. Hope you guys may be able to use this story in some way or another to finagle your way into getting a huge discount on a new Camaro or Corvette or something, or whatever the fuck you guys want to buy. Just been getting tons of questions online about how I was able to do that, and it's really a long story. I didn't want to type the whole thing out, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you could take that advice and use it in whatever way you want. Consider subscribing to the channel for more Camaro stuff, more car stuff. Check out some of the videos on my channel. As always, I will see you guys on the next one. Woo! I'm not prepared this time.